When did you last say that then?
I don't tend to say that.
No?
Phrase really doesn't really fit me, I think.
Fair enough.
Yeah, how about you?
7-1 in favour of Fnatic. Just the one round for G2. Just the one round. Those baguettes looking pretty dry down. Looking pretty hard. Looking
Stale,
pretty
crumbly.
Pretty inedible.
Nothing worse than that, just because there's so much promise when you see a baguette. It's nothing better than a fresh baguette.
When you've got a good jar of honey, you want some fresh bread. You want some bread that's still warm from Le Bakery. You don't want no hard baguettes. Nobody wants a hard baguette. Time is going down. So G2 have spent some cash. Let's not forget their loss bonus is in the pits, in the doldrums. They've pretty much gone for the full buy, and the full buy will comprise CZs, a P250, a 5.7, the odd grenade here and there. Gambles must be taken by G2, and the gamble for now is 4 players into the B bomb site, but Fnatic will play it slow.
Oh, Kenny's with some burn damage there. Actually a lot of damage, down to 39 health already, and I think Shox took some fall damage, or a teammate shot him, one of the two, because he took damage very early into the rounds. So already it doesn't look too great on the health there for G2, stacking towards B at the moment. They may decide to just hold B, and if Fnatic go A, they may just opt to try to save and play maybe even aggressive exits, as they can then use these pistols and the armors into the next round. But I like this play, going with the flashbang, trying to isolate one of these players, and they'll be successful, taking down Olive Meister. That's the AWP there onto Kenny now. Perhaps there's a chance to do something here, but Fnatic are quickly approaching the A side. They know what's up.
You see the instant reaction, the natural reaction from JW to try and cut off some of these players. He can hear the rotation towards B. Will he go for the flank? That leaves only 3 of his players on the A bomb site, so he better hope his flank is good. But Body is waiting for the JW flank. We'll see how that goes. In the meantime, Body will frag him, and that's another AK picks up, and now there are 3 Fnatic players left. The bomb's not down. They don't know if it's safe to plant for the toilet area. Apex moving towards long now. He could be a nasty surprise. Kenny with the AWP. I'm not sure if you want to challenge him. He'll get saved by Body. What a perfect play from Body, leaving Flusher alone. It has fallen apart for Fnatic. It has meant disaster. Again, 2 options for JW, but a smart play from Body. I don't know if he got a sound cue. JW is standing still. He might have heard him get into position in the first place, but the play from Body, the steal of the AK, comes into play to save Kenny, and they get an AWP. They get all the spoils of that round. 2-7. There's still a chance for G2 in his first half.
Yeah, and it's really interesting too, because I think Fnatic committed into trying to take the frags and sort of committed themselves into then what may have been a bad play, as they were unable to get the bomb down. So a chance indeed for G2 here as we get Flusher going down very quickly into Connector. And we can see Fnatic have been a team that have put a lot of emphasis on Connector very early on into these rounds, and G2 are playing fairly passively here, but with 2 players on the B-bomb site, perhaps not for long there, as JW just walks in and takes Shox away. Shox did not even get to see JW. I think the flashbang was perfect, and that's a great start here for Fnatic. And the only thing for them really is that they don't have many grenades at this point, so they may be somewhat committed to using this forward position that they already have in the sewers to actually just go into the B-bomb site and not really risk testing the ground towards A, which is where Kenny S is. So that would be wise. Don't go to Kenny S right now.
This has to be a B play for Fnatic. The fact that Dennis is just looking out for any flanks, and they've got no presence towards Fountain, towards Balloons, towards Long, it has to be a B play for the Fnatic side. Body and NBK, will they be heard? Looking over the smoke. If he jumps, that's a wrap. JW seems to know, and that's another kill. G2, are they going to be reset again? Is it that grey button on the Super Nintendo being smashed, being fisted by Fnatic, moving into the B bomb site? Body picked off as well. The numbers down. Kenny's got a lot of work to do in his Apex position. He could get double peaks, and indeed he'll get triple peaks. A great play by the T's. They've got Apex. He's the last man standing. 25 seconds to plant this bomb. Can Apex stop them? Moving towards Monster. Dennis with an off angle. I think he's heard the position. Maybe he hasn't, but either way, it's going to work out. They knew Apex was outside the B bomb site. The rotation of the B towards A meant life would have only got harder, even if he got that kill, but no. G2 reset again.
Yeah, Fnatic playing really well here, and I love just, again, you can see that JW is so familiar with the meta game because, you know, he sees that smoke from the CTs and he understands, he's like, okay, they're a man down, they're a proactive team, so there's a strong likelihood with this smoke, because I know these positions so well, that they might go for a booster. I'm going to give it a go, and he was right that time around, and basically gets 2 kills. It's a 5v3. That's a really great stuff there, really great play, sorry, from JW, and Fnatic, such a crucial round, keep resetting G2. How frustrating it must be for G2 to constantly be reset as they are.
Forced by territory again for the Frenchmen, and again they've got 4 in B, maybe playing against expectations. Well, they stacked 4 people last time, but now the CTs are starting to back off towards Apex around the bogs, also known as toilets, also known as lavatories, although we haven't really inspected the toilets themselves. Who knows what's in there? Maybe it's just urinals, I don't know. Maybe the female toilet is full of shiwis. G2 now in the A site, but they can only guess as to what might be going on. Apex with the CZ on the off angle. You can see him in the X-ray there. It is an expected position. Fnatic again, they're playing the clock down. They've got 2 Molotovs left, Fnatic. The flashbang is there, the 2-man spray down from body. Fnatic, perhaps they're going too slow once more.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to save this one. 30 seconds. Apex waiting for the perfect moment to strike, and in the back he'll come in for the second. And that's a lot of guns collected there for G2. Again, able to win these rounds with pistols. And it's funny actually, because I think, you know, always with Fnatic, they were never a team that you would say this is a team that has the best examples of dealing with pistol play, you know, force buys and so on. They have gotten a lot better at it, but you can see it is still problematic for them. They're so good in these buy rounds, and that does pose an issue, but their money's finally been broken. They're down to pistols now, so there's a real opportunity now for G2 to get the momentum back. This is their window of opportunity. All they must do now is defend what is going to be quite some aggression towards this B bomb site.
Looking like a much faster round from Fnatic. There are Molotovs for the CT side. They're not willing to peek into the monster position body around the pillar. Oh, how did that happen? Shops is there. He's got support as well. He's going to get picked off eventually after a 2k. And NBK, he's in the red. He can only do so much. Advantages for Fnatic somehow. It's a force buy from them, but they've only picked up 1 rifle so far. There are guns to collect the smoke down on the Molotov. Apex left, and it's Kenny versus 2 after picking Flusher off. Around Monster, around the pillar. How does he not get traded in this situation? Flashbangs into the sights. He's got the defuse kit, there's still time, but he needs to move quickly. How does he avoid a double pick? If he fires 1 shot, surely the second player faces him. There's Crimstown, spots there around the corner, close, but not quite, not fast enough for that shot to go off on an AWP. How is this happening? I feel like the only rounds G2 have won have been force buys, but they just can't string rounds together.
Yeah, man, I was so close. I could see it in my mind's eye. There must be like milliseconds until Kenny has pulls the trigger for the no-scope there, and it's Kenny. Yes, I feel like he's definitely hitting that shot if he just has a tiny amount of extra time. You can see Dennis here, and just, very quick from Dennis around the corner with the spray. Really well played from him. And you can see just so much, like in the Fnatic camp here, so just smiles all around there. Really feeling it at the moment. And nothing but frustration here, again and again for G2. It's such a hard-fought battle for them. Nothing seemingly going their way. And once again, back to a horrible buy. It's so common here for G2 in this match. They just don't have money to play with. And here goes the play from them. 3 men around the Suez position, looking for Fnatic to take over Connector and Suez perhaps, which has been fairly common for them. But Fnatic, you can see they read the money situation. They're trying to play this defensively. They understand what G2 want to do in a round like this.
Now Dennis is looking to move through Connector. Crimson Flusher on the high ground, and you might want him a bit closer to Connector before you make your way through to the other end. But now Connector's being secured. Olaf Meissen can go towards short B if he wants to. Dennis wondering what the hell just happened. He's in the red. He's in 3 HP. He's in 3 HP, and again, 50 seconds left for Fnatic. Not really anywhere close to a site at the moment. JW spotted, he's on his own around the playground area, pulling out a Glock. That's less than ideal, but Apex is going to back off. They know that they can capitalize on the time pressure of Fnatic. Flusher and Crims, they're over towards A. They can try and secure things. All of Mike towards B, but where will the bomb go? 33 seconds remaining, and there are 2 CTs left. Dennis and JW just moving past the fountain now.
And this is such a typical Fnatic round to me. You got a situation where, again, it's sort of, you're playing against a force buy, and Fnatic are splitting up all across the map, trying to make entry frags on both bomb sites at the same time, creeping up here. The bomb is down by T-spawn, and that's just so Fnatic to me. Just a bunch of players who are incredibly skilled, all trying to make plays at once, and that's why they can be so hard to play against and deal with, because it's unpredictable. Like, you don't know where they're going to be coming from. They're going to take multiple 1v1s at the same time, and again, the players are so individually comfortable and skilled that they are very capable of winning all those 1v1s. It's just chaotic, isn't it? And although Body will survive with this AWP, it looks like, although there is a hunt, so maybe it's not all that guaranteed at all. There's some time here for Fnatic to find him. He really needs to hold on to this. It's 19 health on him. Oh, his back is exposed. Oh, Dennis. Oh my god. Playing with... Oh no! Playing with our hearts, James.
Look at Dennis, he's like, LOL! Did you see what I just did, LOL?
He's been laughing the entire game, every single round. And obviously he's been the guy to get some of these frags right at the end, so...
Dennis is a mentalist.
Yeah.
We might be looking at a 12-3 half. That's finally, Fnatic have got the consecutive round over the force buy. Tactical timeout from G2, but what tactics are there with $2,000 in the bank? Kenny appears to be going for the force buy. So I smell a 12-3, Dan. I smell a 12-3.
Yeah, it's not looking the best for G2, that's for sure. You can see that Apex, a lot of passion and emotion going in there. Shock's looking very calm, very focused, very composed under this trying situation. And see if G2 can bounce back. Yeah, a couple rounds can still be theirs. A couple more rounds, that is. Double Mac 10 here for Fnatic, so this is really interesting because they have so often been playing these types of rounds slowly, taking their time with rifles, but now they're going to change the pace, and this should catch G2 very off guard. This is the first time they're going to do this.
Yeah, they smell weakness, desperation on the French side, and they are not wrong, but they are not visible at the moment. Well, they can't see, now they can, and they're getting most of the kills. DCs are dangerous, and by no means is this round over just yet, but more harassment coming in. Olaf Meister managing one more kill. The rest of the T's outside the B-bomb fight. Kenny's alone, starting to back off, but Flusher will slow down somewhat for the 11th round for Fnatic. 1 round remains in this first half, and how do they not make it to 12-3? A very bumpy half for both teams, however, it has gone the way of Fnatic in a landslide score-wise, but those anti-force buys have been quite unreal, and I do feel like I feel like G2 have only won force buys.
I feel like they've only had force buys, James. I feel like that. I was just wondering how many rounds have they just played with pistols. I feel like it's such a high number. It's really crazy. Again, of course, they're relying on the pistols here. This is the last round of the first half, buying with everything that they have. And Fnatic going with the same round, I think, as the previous one, with the back 10 sent first, 3 double forward, and the forward smoke actually gives a solid chance here for G2 to hold. Fnatic have to reassess the situation now. They can't go into B. That was the initial plan.
Yeah, we've lost one guy. We don't need to commit to this. We have all the advantages in this last half. We know it's a force fight. Obviously, it's the last round, and they don't got the cash. They can take the AK. We've got 4 more.
Well, poor Kenny will lose his head there, and he's trying to get some information, but with a minute left on the clock, it's still very hard to predict what Fnatic will do, and they're sort of doing the Fnatic thing again. They're very spread out at the moment, and this is essentially them trying to... They understand that they're going to be up against pistols, so if they spread out, they can have a bunch of opportunities to see a CT push somewhere, and then they'll get the kill. That's, of course, how they're thinking about it, or perhaps we'll have Flusher here, can walk into a bomb site, then the bomb can move towards A. So, again, Fnatic love to play in this style, and it might work out really well for them in this round, and I guess we'll have to see. There's always a threat with these G2 players when they have these pistols.
If Flusher doesn't see Apex, Oh dear. NBK and Shocks are rotating. Flusher will hear this, so he can send the rest of the team towards that B bomb site. Body now going for a short B push. What is the read from the CT? Do they go towards A or do they go back towards B? Apex making his way through connector. They know it's a B play now, but there's time. Or is there time to plant the bomb? 7 seconds remain. It's too late. Olaf Meister can't do it. NBK with a 3K from the high ground. A desperate 4th round for G2. Is it enough for them to have any semblance of a comeback in the second half? The pistol will be key. It will be crucial. It's a must win for G2.
And that round was actually, I mean, again, you know, Fnatic, the style there is going to be very slow, but what an amazing round from MBK to get. I mean, I think he has 6 kills in total in the half, and of course that round he got 4, so really nice work from him to do so. Oh wow, yeah, MBK, absolute beast there. Look, the last shot is phenomenal there from MBK. I honestly don't know how the hell you can predict the spray in that way, but he's pretty good at this game. Yeah. So
the round was won anyway at that point because of time, but it's a very nice kill.
But it's
indeed.
nice, James. It's super awesome.
Yeah, but unfortunately, that might be the last flash of skill we see from G2 in this tournament, unless they win this pistol round.
Playing it slow at the moment. You can see that they don't want to get caught by that Fnatic aggression, which was present towards A long. Now there's Kenny there, just up on the swing set. Not supposed to use swings in this manner, but it's Kenny, so we'll give him the exception.
Trivia: you can shoot that swing all the way around in a revolution, but it takes a while.
Now this is tough, isn't it? You got a Glock, you're a long range against USP. This feels quite dangerous from Kenny here. He does have his teammates though moving up to try and basically pinch the position, so he was acting as a distraction. It's worked. Apex picks up Dennis, but now Fnatic start to rotate as the G2 push comes into A.
All the CTs are here. NBK peppering, poking, prodding, asking questions. Olaf Meister with a nice headshot towards long. That is the 2-pronged assault taken down. But the bomb's rotating away from the B bomb site. But will it go back? Because NBK's got himself a 2K. Crims and Flusher moving back. Crims making his way towards the bank position, it seems. So NBK is keeping them entertained. 30 seconds, and it's entirely plausible that G2 are still here. But no, they're in the B bomb site. Down goes the plant. Beep, beep. Who's got the keys to the Jeep? Because it's time for Fnatic to drive towards the B and bring this round back.
And MBK, so much damage. 2 kills, he got the dink onto Crims as well. Really putting in some work here. It's going to make it very hard here for Fnatic because Fox is the only healthy player. So it's going to be the unhealthy one jumping down first. Apex able to get the kill there, finish him off, and it's just too much to deal with there for Flusher. Shocks with the last frag now as G2 pick up that pistol, that much needed pistol. And again, G2 are a team that are very capable of grinding the rounds back, and this could be a very close game. And it would be so interesting to see that after what was just a mental test. That first half seemed there's not many halves in Counter-Strike that are harder to deal with than that, like as you pictured it, you know, just get constantly reset. That's so hard, and they always only had pistols to work with.
G2 supporters will breathe a sigh of relief that the pistol round has been successful, but after the disaster that was Force Buys in the first half in general, will G2 suffer the same fate? Fnatic putting 3 towards B, 2 in the connector area. Close quarters, wanted, needed, yearned for by the Swedes. JW may go for a flank as he's made his way through connector. Confident man JW is. Shocks in his usual position, lurking outside the B bomb site. That's his job on the T side for G2. The rest of them doing one of the more common anti-force by anti-eco strats, which is presence on long, a pilgrimage towards the A bomb sites.
Slow and steady. This is a much more conventional anti-force buy here from G2 that you would more normally see.
That is a lot of information for the CTs. Look at the rotation thanks to JW's communication. Shocks has given a game away for his side, and the CTs are streaming in. So far so good. Flush with 1 kill, but Body will trade. Can he hold down the bank position though?
It's a really tough situation to deal with here for the CTs, now stuck behind the choke points, and the bomb will go down the flank as being spotted by Shocks as well. So G2 have all the information, they've got the weaponry advantage. Kenny, yes, with a very important frag there into bank, and that really essentially stops Fnatic from being able to make a good effort here. Again, they know that there's a flanker can see that Body and Shox are both looking for him. They're aware there's a player stuck around the stairs, and there it is. Body takes down JW. No flank now, just down to Crim to get some headshots. Perhaps with this Deagle, he'll give it his best shot, but it won't be enough in this occasion. Kenny with the kill and G2 with the round. And they have defeated the Fnatic, the very scary Fnatic force by, and now it should be smooth sailing. They can play against USPs. And with a round here, that'll be 7, James. And only 4 away.
6 plus 1 is indeed 7.
But then, you know, if you consider how the first half went, you know, it really changes the storyline.
It does. It looked like the game was lost almost.
Yep.
In the first half, but now there is a ray of sunshine.
Ouch.
Olofmeister lives in regrets for this round. He is hightailing it out of the B bomb sites entirely. He is shocked. He is psychologically harmed by that shot. 3 players here on the B bomb site for the CTs. Make it 4 with a player on a balcony, or pretty much 5. Dennis is there along with Olofmeister. There is not a single Molotov on the G2 team right now. They've got 3 smokes on this anti-eco round, but no Molotovs. Maybe they deployed one towards short B earlier, but right now they're pushing sites with no mollies. That is less than ideal. They've got flashes though, but Shox, he's expendable. He can go in and clear things out. Shox removing them one by one. He is building the cash. Perhaps he drops an AWP for Kenny. Monsieur Kenny S.
It's so fun being the guy that has the MAC-10 in that round when you're playing against the CT Eco. It's like, so your job is essentially to run at them and hold mouse 1. Obviously, it's a little bit different in professional matches in some cases, but it's still a lot of fun. And indeed, we've got the 7-round scoreline here for G2 now, a mere 4 away from equaling Fnatic. And if they have success on this buy rounds, that can certainly lift the spirits of the Frenchmen, who were certainly experiencing quite some frustration, but exercising a great level of composure. But that aggression in connector, successful. Fnatic, not just on the T side will they go aggressive here, but the CT side as well. And it's worked out fantastically well, but there's still a chance.
God. What was that shot from Kenny S? Indeed, there is still a chance, but JW and connector could flank these players. G2 are in a lot of trouble, 2 versus 3. They've abandoned the B bomb site in case the cavalry came in on the horses, waving the flags. That hasn't happened just yet, but JW's position is so strong. On the plus side for G2, they have a minute 15, which means they can walk everywhere. They can be rambling hikers. You saw in a previous round, Shox ran on the rotation when his team were pushing A, and it gave the game away. JW's in the same position, but Shox doesn't need to run.
And he doesn't check. I wonder if this is something that JW just loves to do all the time now, because as you mentioned previously, we saw this from him. And it is so strong, isn't it? And you don't really see a lot of teams emphasize plays towards this position, and it could very well be part of the reason why Fnatic love to go connector in a lot of these rounds. 2
things are going to happen. Either this is a B play and Shox is clearing house, or Kenny's going to rotate towards Shox. JW's going to hear that, and then Fnatic are going to sit on the A site. Those are one of 2 things that are going to happen. It seems Shox will offer the fake. JW might go up the ladder as Shox goes down connector, but JW, he's flanking towards Kenny. Kenny's still waiting outside Monster, and if he goes through Monster, JW could get the perfect timing to completely ruin things. If he picks Kenny off, then that's the bomb. It might be no time left, 15 seconds now, and Shox knows that he's in a lot of trouble. JW doesn't know where Shox is just yet. The bomb collected, but there's 10 seconds. CTs are on the site. He can't really plant the bomb now. Will Flusher wait for him? But that is a high-risk plant attempt. Flusher has the angle. No plant. The worst has happened for G2, but they do have some money in the bank.
And this is interesting to me because I'm really curious how often JW is going to try to make plays to that position, because again, that's 2 times we've seen it now, and obviously, you know, it's so evident how many uses it has. I mean, you described a lot of them just now. So, will that be something that G2 recognize as being some of the reason why Fnatic love to pressure on connector, or will Fnatic start alleviating that pressure just because G2 will adapt more to that aggression and maybe go with a fast play towards A long, or something that can punish a forward play into connector? There's a lot going on here. It's, as far as the mind games goes between these 2 teams and how you're playing strategically, there is a lot of stuff going on, and it looks like G2 will actually just play slow, and they are checking connector. They see no aggression so far, and a lot of this of how the round will develop will likely be dependent on what MBK can see down there. And if there's no one in connector, that's going to give MBK a good idea as to how Fnatic can be set up. And seeing no one here, it's like, okay, I know it's a more passive setup now. And they start to take map control towards toilets as well.
Shock's in his usual lurk position, but just with a Tech 9, so not much he can do at the moment. Perhaps he will pick up a weapon as this round progresses, and boy does it need to progress. 1 minute remains for G2. NBK harassing the connector area, Flusher returning fire. And there are grenades moving towards the A site now. G2, after showing presence towards B, the entire team is here towards A. JW flashed off D corner, repicks, and Kenyes is ready for him. Dennis can't do anything about that, but 35 seconds remain. Crims has been left on the A site, on the B bomb site. Everybody rotating towards A, and Crims will have to join him as well because Fnatic are in trouble.
Yeah, not getting that kill there, Dennis. That's going to hurt a lot because in comes a swell of numbers here from G2. And that swell of numbers will survive. And the bomb will go down with 20 seconds to spare. Crim's just holding an aggressive exit here, but I doubt G2 will go anywhere that they haven't cleared. The money is low for Fnatic though, but it is also low for G2. So it's likely G2 will say, you know what, we can have that one gun. We want to maintain our economy here. We'll see though if they want to invest anyone. If it might be Shox who is coming. He's got 8 points of health. It's going to be a tough duel to win. Oh, it's all about timing, and Crims will get a good timing just in the end there. So another round here for G2, and so much hope. They've really created a game out of what was really one of the most desperate situations you can have in a half.
It's a nice grenade from Crims. I will remember that one. That's a cool grenade if you have an AWPer, for example, in short B, who wants to peek on to blow the door off. That's another way to do it. JW going back to the angle. In fact, he tried to shoulder peek, it seems, but Kenny was ready, as Kenny almost always is. Kenny with 14 kills for his team, only behind Body and Apex, 15 and 19 respectively. The fourth buy from Fnatic, Olaf Meister going for the Mag 7. JW pulling out the French gun. Flusher will be on the CZ. One of the more potent CZ players is Flusher. The dominating lead from Fnatic reduced to 4 rounds. Everything looks delicate now. Shox on the Tech 9 only again, which is interesting. I think Body had 2200 before the last round ended. And in fact, there is money to. I think he's playing a longer economical game here, right? He could be dropped an AK, but he could just take a weapon from Fnatic. It seems they might have a read on a force buy, or if they think there might be an eco, then he can be expendable with just a Tech 9. Mag 10 would work as well, but this is a fine play from him.
And right now, Fnatic are experiencing a taste of their own medicine, James, because this is exactly what they were doing to G2 in the first half. Getting those resets in, forcing G2 to play with pistols and all kinds of guns which you'd rather not play with, including the FAMAS. And so far it's still 4 players left here for Fnatic, and G2 are playing slow. There's maybe a chance. Olaf Meister can't get the kill though, and that's a big moment, because had he gotten a kill there, it really does shift the odds.
But we've got time pressure again. 30 seconds and they are not in a sight yet. There are still 3 players alive here for Fnatic, 2 of which have rifles, and they're all on the B-bomb side. Crims holding down short B. 20 seconds remain. Crims is still doing damage. JW pick up where Crims left off. And how do you get the bomb down now? 16 seconds remain. Flush with the CZ1 versus 1. Kenny with the AWP. How does he play the close range game? It seems he might know where Flusher is, but not certain about that. 7 seconds now. Flusher jumping around the corner, but he can't quite get a kill. 4 seconds. Kenny has to kill. He just about will. 3 seconds remain. The P250 doing the job, but boy, are these anti-force buys going down to the wire.
Flusher, he almost did it there, running out of bullets. Oh, the CZ. Great job from him there as well to bait the shot, and to be honest though, you can often expect Kenny to hit that, but as you said, you know, he was running forwards trying to pursue Flusher there, so very awkward, but Kenny, yes, winning that clutch. Apex is pretty hype. He's doing his best Magisk impression right there, just the hype man for the team. So much energy from the man, and we'll see how far that carries them here now as they are up against just USPs. They'll be on 10 rounds if they win this round, which they likely will, and that that means they're only 2 rounds behind. And again, if you've been with us since the beginning, it's been such a grind for G2 to get to this point.
What a journey this would be if they were to win this match in such a fashion, in such a struggle. Surely it would give them a nice boost moving into the playoffs, but Fnatic are still in the lead for the time being. That lead looks to be narrowed as they don't bring much into this round, and the numbers are thinned out like George Costanza's hairline. Olaf, Crims and Flusher. Crims with a P250, 1 kill, the P250 pays for itself, and obviously he has the range for those one taps. Sound cues. The door, opening the door obviously has its own sound cue as well, so he will try to pick his timing wisely. Apex gets his bell rung, but the church doors are closed. Moving forward now to the bomb site, considering everything. Crim's last man standing with that P250, but nothing doing. Everybody survives for G2, so if they have an accident in one of these rounds, then they can bring the money straight back once again, and that could be a problem for Fnatic, who will go for a timeout, a tactical timeout from Fnatic. It's buy time for Fnatic, 4,500 per, roughly per person. Now it's them who have that issue where if they win a round and lose the next one, like if they win a round with say 2 players alive or less, then lose the next one, G2 are suddenly in a really nice spot.
Such a tense game, to be honest, and to see just the composure out of all of these players is really inspiring, and I'm really looking forward to seeing some kind of AWP shenanigans from Kenny. Yes, I mean, I feel as though when you're playing against Fnatic, I feel like there's nothing is standard anymore, because they can be an unorthodox team to play against. So we're not seeing some of the more normal rounds you would expect. Also, just the nature of how this works. But when we see a default from G2, they're actually going to once again put Kenny in connector. That's smart. Fnatic have put a lot of players to this position in many occasions in this map, much more than some teams would normally do so. And it's just JW there this time. He's going to have 2 players coming his way. The trade will be set up, but he'll get out of dodge in the nick of time. Drop the smoke, get the info. That's good work from JW to stay alive here.
He did good damage as well. NBK sub 50 HP. Dennis and Olafmeister are still in forward position, so Apex is looking for some kind of aggression. He's got the angle for both positions, so we'll keep an eye on how that plays out later on. But he's starting to move forward, and he may end up getting flanked. The Olafmeister and Dennis. Stereo pushes from the Swedes. Apex in trouble, but that must be a fast play from G2. 2 players in very forward positions. There's somewhere to exploit, but where? Is it A, is it B?
And you can see the mad dash here. Now they've lost their presence towards the A side of the map. They're very afraid that they'll miss their timing unless they go immediately. And you can see that they're rushing it so quickly. They have to hit shots under a lot of pressure here. Crims is holding it down. This is great work from him. Has he done enough damage here? Plenty of time to plant the bomb. Kenny can take a position at the back of the bomb site with that AWP. So it's going to be hard for Olafmeister and Dennis to get in here from Fnatic. And looks like they're going to try pushing here through the smoke into Body. Body gets nothing though. Down to Kenny once again with the AWP. This is such an important clutch for him to make now as he looks for the first shot. And these Fnatic players are playing this very cautiously. They know they have to set up the trade here. Where is Kenny though? He has to be quick as he goes around the smoke. Tech9 comes out. It's Olaf with the frag. Such an important round here from Fnatic. But just as you said, James, they must not get reset from this position.
Yeah, 2 players surviving. We did talk about that, but that's to me, that tells me that Fnatic players who are dead are looking at what's going on. They know Kenius is the last man standing. Instead of running around the slope towards the barrel position where Kenny's going to have massive advantages, they boost one of the players up and he goes over the top of the site. The other one jumps up there with a running jump, and that puts Kenny in a really nasty spot. He has no idea if the bomb's being defused or not. And let's not forget, Fnatic made a great play. Those 2 people forward, I mean, yes, G2 are trying to play the fast game while they're out of position, but with 3 players in the B bomb site, are they really out of position unless they make a play towards A? I don't think so. So it worked wonders for Fnatic, but yes, they were left with 2 players alive. They are in a precarious monetary situation, and G2 again, they have the cash for the full buy. It's a big round for both teams.
And we see a different setup from Fnatic here. They go for more aggression towards Sewers, and this really tells you a lot as the CTs early on that there is absolutely no presence there whatsoever, and they will back away eventually. So interesting that they decide not to hold on to that forward position. I would think that it would be very strong if you get it like that and there's no one around to actually hold on to it and to try to play off of that, maybe play defensively around A. And now G2 are looking to make their presence felt towards the toilets and A-long positions. Will Dennis get all that aggressive, or will this be as far forward as we'll see him go? That's likely the case. It's a great position. Can play those shadow advantages, and G2 are taking their time here, trying to clear everything, trying to do the best job in that sense. Dots all their I's, cross all their T's, but they're getting close now.
Ooh. JW will not know how close he was. Imagine. Yeah, 25 seconds on the clock, and G2 are going to have to take massive gambles facing through the smoke. They're selling a fake though, but they've lost 2 players. There's a full rotation from the CTs towards the A site, but when this bomb eventually goes down, Dennis and Olofmeister are going to be on the flank. There's going to be all kinds of positions to defend from. Fnatic on the top. That's a bad miss with the Molotov, but Body, he's being tagged down to 20 HP, and again, the CTs are everywhere now. Olofmeister and Connector, Dennis from T-Spawn. Kenny making his exit, but he's looking the wrong way. It might be a free kill, but no! Just in time, but he's in the red now as well.
Fnatic waiting for that perfect moment to go in. Smoke onto short. Olofmeister is on short. That might actually be a really big distraction play. Nice there from Body. Catches the head of Flusher now, as we'll get the rest of Fnatic starting to scurry on into the bomb site. It's successful. Once again, it's Kenny. Another shot for him, but there's just surely no time to do anything against the trade fraggers, and indeed the defuse will be there for Olofmeister. Fnatic, 14 rounds now, and G2, they did build a lot of cash and they did get the bomb down in that situation, but that will become a concern in the future rounds now for them. And Fnatic, they're 2 rounds away from playing in the arena, James.
Imagine if this was a best of 3. What carnage we are seeing in this map. One of these teams has got to go. G2, they look relatively calm though. They've had some enthralling rounds, but they've lost 2 in a row. Indeed, they still have the money thanks to that plant. They still have the money to buy. But how do they make the difference? I'm still thinking about that round where Fnatic had 2 players deep towards A. And they pretty much sold G2 tickets to a show in the B bomb site and had 3 players there. That's a pretty strong hold with 3 players. I mean, they all got taken down ultimately, but here we are, 14-10. The buy out once more for G2. They've got loads of grenades, they've got their 4 AKs and the AWP. They've got pretty much everything they could want in this round. But now they need the round itself.
And G2 being a bit faster towards the party area this time. MBK once again, we've seen them commonly checking out the connector area in middle. Looking for spots here, seeing if there is any sort of forward setup here from the Fnatic boys. Fnatic with a lot of presence towards A at the moment.
Crimson is on an MP9.
Yeah, this could work out really well because he finds a great timing through the door there, taking down MBK. Oh my god! Another frag from the MP9 of Crims. What a menace! Now as Dennis tries to finish things off, and it's going to be Apex to take him down. So G2 still with a lot of time to work this pick.
JW dueling, spotting Apex towards long A, but not spotting the bomb. The bomb is with Kenny. I think Olofmeister must have heard his scope, but Body's coming in. Olofmeister cares not. That's a lovely 180 from Olofmeister, so fast, and that is surely Fnatic on match point, or is it? Apex has got 40 seconds. He knows where the bomb is, so do the CTs. Crim's coming in for the flank. He's speeding towards the A bomb site. Crim's just biding his time for the moment. He's upgraded his gun to an AK. Looking for flushing now while there are warning shots from JW. You are not welcome on the A site. Match point Fnatic.
Yeah, and it's not just match point that G2 are playing against. They're also playing against a crippled economy. It's just Apex who really has any amount of money. There's enough to get grenades, tech 9s and armor, and they may decide to get maybe a rifle, drop to a rifle on a player here or there, but
look at this 180.
It's fantastic.
Awesome stuff from Olof.
But I would expect a fast round here from G2. I think maybe, was there an AWP drop? I guess we'll see in... No, there was not. could have tried to go for that, but it would have left Apex without any armor. They've gone for 4 nades, Tech9's UMP. They're going to go for a rush, a Hail Mary play into the B bomb site. That's not what you want to see if you're G2. Losing shock straight away. Can they still make a rush work onto B?
Meister making his way to the B bomb site to join his teammates. Maybe he's not needed. Crim's holding down a short B area, and with what little G2 have left, they look to make a play towards the monster position. The flash goes him down, the Molotov makes it worse, and Flusher compounds the problem. Kenny alone with the Tech9, he can't do it. 16-10, the Fnatic, a very strong performance from them in both halves on Overpass. We thought the comeback might be on G2. They made us double figures, but ultimately were denied. They will not make it to the playoffs. Fnatic are successful. Can they get back and win their next major? Is this the time?
They looked very strong indeed, and we've seen a refinement of their style, but their style is so unique and so evident.